never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do, so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move, so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who got it. Being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, getting slow, getting fast, I go roast, I get gas, think I'm okay and last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you can do with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind the fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I learned the consequence, set me any confidence, never hold this confidence, dreams as a modestness, I'm not here to see the thing, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind things, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical, rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable, dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible, if you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, and collage in this spread, I'll be great one day, going off of my meds, no I'm not giving up, no I'm not giving in, I will make it to the top, taking off, and knowing I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it, I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it, I'm chasing a dream that I never separates, just a vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't wanna take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Okay, welcome everybody. Sorry I was a little bit late. I had to restart my computer because it is completely jammed up, so not sure why. And it took forever to restart it, so it might be it seems like yesterday, ever since I reset things to factory settings, it just hasn't been working the same. So anyway, not really sure what I did. I did accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. But I don't know, it just hasn't run the same ever since. So anyway, welcome everybody. Happy Sunday night. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope it was good. All right, I'm going to pull up your comments real quick because I can't see them. Now, I just want to do a sound check because I do have another phone plugged in. And I don't know if that's going to cause static or what. So let me know if there's a problem. And as you can see by the title, it says, Discussing Charges in the Whittaker Case. Now, we're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on. We'll just look into a few things. I'll tell you, I guess just opinions, okay? So whatever we're going to say tonight, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a expert on any court stuff. I don't know anything about it. I did do jury duty last year, though, if that counts. But I don't know anything about how this works. So I just try to do my research. looking into things and reading like government websites and stuff like that to see what they have to say. And so we're going to go over a few of those things tonight regarding this Whittaker case, because I think everybody knows by now that Patrick has been charged, Eric has not. All right, Patrick Rourke charged, Eric Carroll not. But and thank you for the sounds good. Look at all the good sounds goods. Wait, how to look at all the good sounds good. Anyway, thank you. I'm glad. Now I might have improved a few things on the sound. So I'm going to I eliminated my headphones. I think for everything. I've done things to eliminate my headphones. So that might eliminate the static. You know what I mean? Because I think the static was coming from my headset. I'm very rough on headsets. I've gone through a lot of them. I even ran one over with a lawnmower. But anyway, I'm kind of hard on headsets. So far, okay, good. Thank you. All right, so now, like I said, as we know, well, actually, I want to say hi to everybody first, real quick. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody has a great, awesome week this week. What was it last Wednesday, the 12th? There was an eclipse. There was a solar eclipse somewhere. And a lot of times that brings in change. And in this case, it will be a change for the next 6 months. So I don't know if you noticed anything changing from last Wednesday to now, but most people are going to go through some sort of life change. So if you believe in astrology at all, and like I said, the wise men that found Jesus believed in astrology. Anyway, so I want to say hi to everybody. I saw Marshmallow came in, and she's not feeling well tonight, so we wish her well. I hope you feel 100% better in the morning. And good evening to Alicia. So hello, Marshmallow. First one in. Alicia, good to see you tonight. And Tina, good to see everybody. Tina, you were just watching a video from December 2025 with Kathy. Were you? Yeah. There was kind of a lot going on back then. You're doing well. Good. Nazarene, welcome. I think you're back from vacation, so I think so. But anyway, nonetheless, I hope you're safe wherever you are. Hope everybody is. Good evening to Dee, very old friend of the channel. Dee, been here many years. Florida Life in the Sun, welcome, and thank you for saying to hit the like button. That does help the channel. If you enjoy this channel, if you like it, then please like it. Our flood victims bought drywall and supplies, got flooded all over again. Oh no. They lost, yeah. Wow, from a previous flood? Yeah, I think I'd just hold off till the rain stops. That's really terrible, Alicia, because it's so hard doing it the first time. And then having to do it all over again, tear all that brand new wet drywall in there. That's terrible, Alicia. Wow. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how to predict when you buy a house. It'll say if it's in a flood zone, but it could have flooded once in the last 100 years. You know what I mean? I've seen those contour maps, and for real estate has, that realtors have, and it's really cool. You can go on online and look when you're gonna buy a house. It shows you everywhere it's ever flooded at. It's kind of cool. New technology. Good evening to Betty. But anyway, I wish them well, Alicia. I hope the best. I just can't imagine to lose all that and start over again. Gosh. Who am I missing? Did I miss anybody? I be fine. Waiting. Good to see you tonight. Yes, I had to restart my computer. Something wrong with it. It's lagging now. I reset a bunch of things to factory yesterday and it just hasn't worked good since. It fixed my problem that I had, but it seems like now it seems a little handicapped. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened. Oh, hey, Keldy Legs. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Say it out loud. Hey, party people. Good to see you tonight. Say it out loud. I be fine. Getting rain next few days in New Hampshire. Yeah, some places are like here is practically a drought. Other places it's flooding. Huh. Grace, well, there's Grace, my good longtime friend and moderator. Good to see you tonight, Grace. Welcome. Red Storm, you got a long, heavy downpour. Good for the garden. Yeah. Yeah, I wish we'd get a few heavy downpours here. Not too many, but a few. Glades, good to see you tonight. Welcome. 55, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Ultra humid, so yeah, that humidity is hard to deal with. It doesn't even really have to be hot. You could be in the upper 70s. If it's humid, it's just unbearable. Anyway, I hope you get some relief from that humidity. It's terrible. But then you go to like Arizona, it's so dry, it's opposite. You know what I mean? I've been to both Arizona and Florida. They're both such, and Las Vegas is like a dry heat too. That dry heat, I don't know. I'm not sure which one's worse. The dry heat, you can go a lot higher with the dry heat. You can go in over 100 and I don't know, they're still okay, I guess. Anyway, so everybody, I hope you stay cool. Let's see, Betty, did I say hi to everybody? Anyway, so yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about these charges that Patrick has. We're not going to go over the court records and all. I already did that. Hey, Susan says so much. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Hey, Justin Morris. I missed Justin. I went right past you. Red Storm. Did I miss other people? Anyway, good to see you tonight, Justin. I hope you're feeling well and I hope you're healing. Prayers and positive energy your way. Susan says so much. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. Tina. The eclipse was weird. Did you hear about the strange changes that occurred in some people? No, I did not. But most people don't know, but you are going to go through changes when there's an eclipse. It just depends on certain things. But everybody's going to go through a change. And this one will last 6 months. So that's August, September, October, November, December, all the way to January. You might notice changes in your life. Hopefully they're for the good. No, I did not hear about that, Grace. Kathleen, good to see you tonight. You're listening in the bushes. Very good. You probably noticed that I have a seat in the bushes too. That's where I usually am. Usually I'm doing something, so I don't like... I just don't want to even say anything in somebody's chat because then somebody will say something and I'm not there. I usually have it on in the background doing stuff. Grace, like what changes? Asked Tina. Some people with dark brown eyes now have green or blue. Wow, that's crazy. I've never heard that. As long as nobody's howling at the moon. That's where they get the term lunatic, lunar. It will go crazy when the full moon. I've mentioned it before that Jesus' own family, his mother, his brothers, and his sisters called him a lunatic. They thought he was crazy and they called him a lunatic. And those are Lunatics are people who go crazy around the full moon. If you worked in a doctor's office, emergency room, or if you're a police officer, you know what I'm talking about. Or probably in the hospital, you worked in the ER or hospital, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it affects people. It affects, the full moon. The moon affects tides, ocean tides. It moves tides, so you can imagine. But yeah, even Jesus' own family called him a lunatic. Anyway, you better go look at yours. Yep, check your eyeballs immediately. If they have changed colors, just don't tell anybody. Just very discreetly go change your driver's license eye color. And don't mention it to nobody. You fell asleep last night. We'll try to do better than that. All right. I'll bang some pots and pans to keep people awake. Good to see you tonight. Am I missing anybody? TNT. Well, good. We're good. Good to see you tonight, TNT. We're glad to see you. Lucy is jealous of Kathy's voice. She cuddled between me and the phone last night, and I just fell asleep. Aww. Tell her don't be jealous. If she was here, I'd pet her. Give her a treat. It's TNT's birthday? Well, happy birthday, TNT. I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday, girl. Hope you did something fun for your birthday. I always like to get something really, really good to eat and some sweets. And I don't know. Mostly I'm a homebody, so I like to just go back home again. Get my good food and go back home. Anyway, good to see everybody. And yeah, so happy birthday. Shout out to TNT. Hope you're feeling better, Justin. Yes, thank you, Kildeegs. I hope he is too. Or Kildee Legs, I'm sorry. Oh, Pete. Welcome to Pete. Good evening to Pete. Hope you had a wonderful day. A happy freaking birthday, Jeff. I hope it was a knee slap, a great one. Yes. Yes, a happy birthday. I would like to make it an entire week, personally. So happy birthday and birthday week. Yep. Say it out loud is here. It says kinda. Kinda. Say it out loud. It is kinda here. More babies born during the full moon. Yeah. More babies probably are born during the full moon because why? Because they're in water. Yes, they are floating in water. And the tide comes in and the baby comes up. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Actually, I never heard of that, but it does make sense because you're in water, right? Water breaks, and congratulations. Bark at the moon, yes. Go howl at the moon. Hey, dear Jane, good to see dear Jane tonight. Welcome. Hope you're feeling well. I hope you had a wonderful day, a wonderful Sunday. I hope everybody did. Am I missing anybody? I think I said hi to everybody. Oh, your son's is the next day? That's cool. It's weird how people's families have birthdays so close to each other. I've seen that in a lot of people's families. Oh, 37, you're young. Anyway, well, happy birthday. So I did catch up on comments, and so like I said, I had to restart my computer. I don't know what I did, locked her up. But so I was going to talk about and Susan and I are on the same page. I didn't even know she was thinking the same thing, but about Patrick's charges, Patrick Rourke's charges again with the Whittakers, right? Hold on a second. Let me shut this ringer off here. So, well, I was thinking how a few things kind of didn't make sense. So, anyway, I have kind of looked up some things that I was wondering. All right. All right. So, I did check into the thing. I get it. Very best gift at 37, you're 52. I get it. Your son was a gift. Okay. I was going to say, oh, you're young. Okay. I get it now. Yes, our children are the best gift, huh? And doggies too, and kitties. Did you get the emails I sent you today? I don't know, Susan. I don't think so. Let me look. Kind of forgot because I was out doing yard work all day. Um, hmm. So yeah, so Susan was thinking this along the same lines as I am. All right, I see it right now. After should I read this? Do you want me? Yeah, I have it right in my hand, Susan. Do you want me to read it? Do you want me to read it or just sum it up? Um, or no? It's okay. Read, sum it up. Okay. I mean, is there part of this you don't want me to read? All right. So anyway, so we just kind of thought that it was weird because I swear I saw that Patrick's charges were, I thought they were from May. But anyway, yeah, it's okay. All right. Anyway, so but then I got to looking at some things today and this evening, and you know, here's the thing. When I was looking up federal charges and all that stuff, I thought, wait a minute, Patrick isn't charged by the feds. Patrick is charged by the state. Okay. The whole case. Okay, so Patrick got charged, but he got charged by the state authorities, not by the FBI. Right? We kind of know that or knew that, right? Now, I'm going to look sometime. I'm going to show you. Okay. Hold on a second, Susan. Well, I'll kind of read your. Okay, so Susan says, yeah. So Patrick was charged from May through September, and May is when before Eric came into the picture, right? And so the investigation went through September, but it should have actually kept going because they both kept making money after September. Anyway, she says stands corrected several things. The time frame of Patrick's charges, it appears the time frame covers the beginning to end, including time Eric was involved. The contract stated net income after expenses. Eric and Patrick had say so over how donations were used. And not catch these things before. Just want to let you know. I sent copies in an email earlier. So it may be that Patrick has been charged with as much as possible. Still don't understand why Eric wasn't charged. Okay, so I thought to myself, okay, so Eric is not been charged. And if Eric gets charged, if he ever does, then it would be federal charges because it's over state lines, right? You think, well, Patrick got charged by the state and not by the feds. Okay, it's two completely different entities. And so the state of West Virginia, the state troopers, Gilkison and the rest of them, are from the state. Okay, and so I thought, well, but wait a minute. I mean, if you're doing interstate things like, well, discussing and doing things with him and Eric alone, those two are conspiring over state lines, if this would be the case. And also, Patrick would be dealing with donations coming from different states, crossing state lines. So I'm thinking, why aren't the feds involved? But anyway, but he did get charged with the state, right? Really? Is that AI, TNT? Okay, so here's what I looked up. And I was kind of surprised. Hold on a second. All right. Can the feds build a case? Hold on a second. Can the feds build a case after you've been charged by the state? All right. Yes. Post office? Yes. If you're sending things through the mail? Yeah, that'd be federal. Interstate? Yeah. Okay. So I asked Google, can the feds build a case after the state charges you? Now I'll tell you what it says here. Yes, the federal government can investigate and build a case against a person even after the state charges have been filed. And they can even prosecute after a state trial concludes. So even after Patrick gets done with the state stuff, the feds can still start all over and charge them. And no, it's not double indemnity or whatever they call it. Here, it's called the dual sovereignty doctrine. Separate governments, okay? So the state and federal is two different governments. All right. Separate governments. The federal government and state governments are viewed as separate legal entities known as dual sovereigns. And this is why I thought it'd be double jeopardy. Nope. It says no double jeopardy violation because they are separate systems. Being charged, convicted, and even acquitted in state court does not stop federal prosecutors from filing separate federal charges based on the same conduct. The same thing. So the state can file the charges on you and bring you to trial and all that stuff like they're doing to Patrick. But it doesn't matter if he's guilty or not guilty. The feds can pick it up at any time. And get this. Okay, I'll keep going. Constitutional rule. The Fifth Amendment's double jeopardy protection prevents the same sovereign from trying you twice for the same crime. But it does not block a second trial by a different sovereign. So you see, it's two completely different entities, two completely different everything. All right. Why the feds might step in later. Broader federal interest. Federal agencies may take interest if the crime impacts interstate commerce, crosses state lines, or violates specific federal laws such as federal trafficking, large-scale fraud, or firearm violation. Next, state outcome dissatisfaction. If federal authorities believe a state-level plea deal or sentence is too lenient for a major offense, they may pursue a federal indictment. Oh, so if they don't like the way this trial comes out, with the state. Mm-hmm. Well, whether they like it or not, we'll get to that. Ongoing joint investigations. Remember, I told you about this a long time ago. Ongoing joint investigations. Local police and federal agents like the FBI or DEA, frequently share information or work on task force together from the start, meaning a federal case may be quietly developing in the background while state charges move forward. If you, okay, and then it just tells you gotta get a lawyer if this is you. Okay, I agree. Now, hold on a second. What is the next one here? I gotta find that one. Hold on a second. A second. Hold on a second. All right. Now it's suggesting me a whole bunch of things. I don't need a lawyer. Hold on a second. Well, not that I know. Hold on a second. Okay, so all right. So it also says that basically the feds can indict you. They can indict anybody. And they had a quote. I don't know where it is. The quote said, hold on a second. It was a famous quote. The famous quote was something like, the feds can indict a ham sandwich if they want. Yeah, they can. They can indict. Yeah, so they can indict you with like. It doesn't take much. If they want to, they will. They can indict a ham sandwich if they want. And I do want to say something. From what I've read, okay, in Raleigh County, West Virginia, where this is the legal stuff for Patrick's taking place, it says that the rest because it's different in different places, you guys, but in that place, it says what I saw. The rest comes before an indictment. And you don't have to be indicted necessarily on a state case, okay? So Patrick doesn't necessarily even have to be indicted. But I will tell you what I did find interesting is that in January, was it January or March? Might have been his first appearance. I can't remember. I mean, after he got bailed out, whatever. But he really hasn't been to court since March, I don't think. But anyway, Patrick and his attorney waived the preliminary hearing, if I saw that right, and then it gets sent over from magistrate court over to circuit court, which is where the felonies are. So Patrick's lawyer, or Patrick and his lawyer, whatever, waived the the right to a preliminary hearing, because you can. And what that means is that you and your lawyer, whatever, agree that, yeah, they have enough evidence to charge me. I mean, and so if you thought, no, they don't have enough evidence to charge me. And in fact, I could pull that up too. But they must have agreed that they have enough evidence to charge Patrick, because they waived their right to that hearing and skipped right over to the, I forgot what they call it. There's a word for it where it starts with a B. I can't remember. But anyway, it gets kind of kicked up to the higher court, the circuit court. And that's what did. And that's kind of where it's been ever since. Nothing really happening over there. So, so anyway, in conclusion, yeah, even the state, after they get done with them, the feds can start from scratch in the exact same case, the same behavior, same everything. Anyway, I'm going to get into the chat because I know I'm really behind on comments. So, okay. I'm still scratching my head over the whole case. Not, I think we all are. Yep. Susan, are you still friends with Patrick? Monkey says yes. Susan says no on the friendship. Okay. I don't get why Eric hasn't gotten charged at all. I think it's because I believe, personally, just my opinion, I believe charges are coming. I believe the feds probably are going to charge them both. That's just a guess. I don't know any more than anybody else. I Googled it and says Eric rolled and provided information. Google said that? Was it the AI Google? Fed would include postal and interstate, would it not? Yeah, for sure. And so just think about this. Oh man, where is that other search? Because I'm going to tell you. All right, I'm going to pull it up. So I'm going to show you something. Does Raleigh County? Okay. Prosecution. Okay. Raleigh County. All right. All right. Okay. John Patrick Rourke. Hold on a second. Yeah. So. I wanted to post something up. Just. Okay. So. All right. It says, does a. Oops. Does a indictment come before the arrest? And it says no, arrest comes before the indictment. And anyway, indictments and state charges. Let's see. All right, so yeah, it said. All right. Oh goodness. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't know. Some of this is AI, so the AI kind of just picks it all the stuff that it's ever seen and pulls it together into one story. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's because it is, to me, it is so strange that, because it seems to me that the things that he did all cross state lines, from the stuff that was mailed to him to the transactions. And you know what's weird now that I think of it? The weird thing is he got charged with 5 counts of he got charged for each of the Whittakers 5 counts of um like like um exploitation, and then 1 count for each of them. What was the other one? Fraud? I don't have it up right now. But, and those are state charges, which is weird, right? And you know what? That's why he's only got one charge from the state for using a telephone device to do bad stuff. I forgot what it's called. Um, yeah, during the fraud or something like that. That's weird. All right. Yeah. Because I was Googling it because you're very surprised. I would, Grace. Yeah, feds can pick it up. Yep. The same exact case, and whether he's guilty or not guilty or takes a plea, they can take it. They can take it if well, I think they almost would have to. And that's why Patrick only has one charge of using the phone, the device, electronic device or whatever. Nothing about. Anyway, yeah, that is weird. So I personally would expect the federal charges to be coming, because where are all the federal charges? You know what I mean? Because he did, well, my opinion, he did a lot of the financial stuff too. Welcome to Lisa. Oh yes, the feds can pick it up. Good to see you tonight, Lisa. Welcome. Who could Eric roll on that would be bigger case than him? Huh. That's a good question. Maybe Frazier. I don't know. He's been hobnobbing with some celebs. Well, former celebs. I don't know. I don't know. Because yeah, they always get the bigger fish and then the bigger fish. Because in my opinion, Eric is the bigger fish than Patrick. But then, who is the bigger fish than Eric? I don't know. Well, in my humble opinion, just my thoughts, I think that there's other cases that they could investigate in Eric's past. But whether they do or not, it's always involving Eric, Robert Mast, and Mark Douche. I mean, always those three. I can't even say Jeff Morgan because he's not really there. You know, besides calling the police and telling everybody the investigation's called off, whatever. I don't know if he's gone beyond that. And then if you think about Dwayne, I think Dwayne was like, along for the ride until he wasn't. You know what I mean? Until things like got really shit. Well, I think, what was it, September 15th, I think it was on a Monday, when they announced the investigation against Eric and Patrick. The first phone call Eric got was Dwayne, his good friend of many years, Dwayne, personal in real life friend, saying that you're under investigation. And I think that's probably where he, for lack of a better word, maybe sobered up to what was going on. You know what I mean? And he didn't want nothing to do with it. It's fun and games when he's building websites and stuff, but when it starts to look it starts to look like there might be criminal charges, I think Dwayne, dipped out. But he was laughing it up. He was all in it to win it too. But I don't think Dwayne, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't think Dwayne's been on all these trips like Mark and Robert Mast has. It says they took Patrick's phone and that Eric provided information. Yeah, Patrick has admitted, I think on more than one occasion, that they took his phone. In fact, I think Patrick said he had more than one phone. He had two or more phones, and yeah, they took his phones with the S. But yeah, he's admitted that. And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't they take Eric's phones? And then later I looked into it, and I see why they let Eric keep his phones. That was a brilliant. Yeah, they're letting Eric keep using. Go ahead, Eric, keep using your phone. Yeah, because that's what they do. Well, accepting mail and online donations would qualify for. Yeah, me too. So we have to ask ourselves. Well, you don't have to if you want to. You can ask yourself. Then why aren't there federal charges against Patrick? Maybe because they're not there yet. Maybe because they're coming. You know what I mean? And a lot of times they will. They'll sit back and see how the state. You know, maybe they're just going to see how the state case, how that comes out, and then they'll maybe swoop in from there. I don't know, but I can't see how federal charges wouldn't apply in any case that there's fraud involving, um, potential fraud involving uh, online donations, things going through the mail. Um, yeah, yeah. So how wouldn't it be? And Eric and Patrick live in two different states, and you know that they're on the phone. Um, doing God knows what. I hope my videos are helping out their investigation. But West Virginia state judicial system has this habit of dragging in the courts. I've been following Creepalacha, and he's been bringing cases to light. Really? What do they mean by dragging? Like how long? No, it says usually on felony cases in that county. I think it said it's usually between 6 months and 3 years. I don't know. I think it'd be more than that. Lisa says, thank you to Grace. So all this information Patrick is putting out could be used against him in federal. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I was always surprised that he keeps talking. I mean, well, and I'm really surprised Eric keeps talking. But and if I had to guess, I think that Eric thinks he can talk his way out of anything. If he just keeps talking and talking, the feds will say, "Oh yeah, maybe he's right," or whatever, or maybe the public. I don't know. I don't know who he's trying to convince. Maybe himself, but he's trying to convince whoever. If he talks enough, him and his friends, they can. Maybe people will see it another way. Both boys would be wise to yes, STFU. Not a fan. Yeah, no, I hear you. Most likely. Right, Grace. But that's usually what people do. They think that they're smarter than the cops, and they think they can. Well, you see it all the time in the interrogation videos. I love them interrogation videos. Every time they go in there, they're not even under arrest. By the time they start, answering all the questions, they got handcuffs on and they're facing a death penalty. I wonder if Eric has any fingernails in right. Yeah, I noticed he hasn't really posted. I think there was maybe like a meme or something. I can't remember, but he has been very quiet. There's been a few people quiet lately, actually. And Patrick, I think for the most part, has been quiet too. Cat got your tongue. Hold on a second. I just lost my place. But and if it is the feds, look at what a tangled web this story is. You've got Eric, you've got Patrick, you've got Robert Mast, you've got Dwayne, you've got Eric's brother, you've got Mark Douche, you've got people from all over the United States, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if it took a long time to investigate, untangle that mess, you know what I mean? Wire fraud. All right. Oh, I just got sprung to the bottom. So let me see if I can find out where I left off. Yeah, that is true. They are watching. Yeah, I'm sure they are. Feds can build a case on a person for years before they're indicted. Yes. And you know what the weird thing, and I don't know if this is true, I'm thinking it is, but I looked it up, and more than once I've looked it up because I couldn't even believe it. But it says online, it says that, I don't know about the whole state of West Virginia, but for sure Raleigh County. But they said there's no statute of limitations on any felony. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. So you could have committed a felony back in the 70s, you can still get arrested for it? Uh, I mean, I've never heard that. There's always statute of limitations on everything but murder. I mean, I don't know. And maybe tax fraud. I don't know. But for sure, murder. There's no statute of limitation. But yeah, on any felony, you can look it up. I've looked several times. I keep saying that. Um, yeah, I wouldn't want to look over my shoulder for something that's coming like that. It's scary because that's a lot of time in prison or jail or whatever. I don't understand how the state or the feds could think that nailing Patrick would be better than nailing Eric. I don't think they do, Glades. I don't think they do at all. If well, if I had to guess, I think that they're looking at Patrick as the little fish. And I think that, just my opinion, I think that, well, and then it says online, they that they always get the little fish first, and then they can well, I don't want to say overcharge, but charge a whole bunch of charges on them or whatever, and then they can, drop some of them if the witness cooperates, and if they don't, either way, they can run. It's like a dry run. They can run the smaller fish through the trial and get them to roll on the bigger fish, and then see how that case goes, see where their strengths or weaknesses is before they roll out the big fish. And a lot of times, even at sentencing or whatever, there's plea deals, and that's kind of usually the goal. Get the little fish to roll on the bigger fish. And in my opinion, Eric is a much bigger fish, not only because he got way more money. Oh, and you know what? Oh, I wish I could find that. See, my computer crashed. Let me see if it's up here. My computer crashed before I came on, and I lost my searches. But it says it turns into a federal case, and it was saying the reasons, just as we would expect. Let me see if I can find it. So obviously, it turns into federal when it crosses state lines, when it involves certain things, and if you involved any type of like state or federal organization in your crime, and he did. I mean, in my opinion, I think that they involved the obviously the court system, the restraining order stuff. Even if that's they looked the other way on that, they still got involved with multiple agencies, like trying to adopt Timmy. Got involved with them. Got involved with the sheriff. Got involved going down to the courthouse, pretending to pull permits. I mean, so I don't know. He did involve other agencies. Glade, it was probably a personal issue with local authorities. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Unless Patrick really pissed somebody off, like in the prosecutor's office or something. I just think that there's like step A, step one, get Patrick on state charges. then I think step 2 is get Patrick and Eric on federal charges. That's just my thought. Only time will tell. But I think once they charge you, I think they got like 6 months to make it move forward or something. So they can only drag it out so long in a state case for sure. If that's so, then it has to be really big. Yeah. Right. We'll just call it a hunch. Oops. Let's see. If that's so, then it has to be really big, insane, totally insane. Susan, you were green. Oops, I don't know what happened. Maybe my membership expired. Yeah, I didn't even notice till you said it. We'll just call it a hunch. Hey, Vanita, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Good to see you too. Mattis Hatter, good to see you tonight. Welcome to the Mattis Hatter. Not just a little mad, the maddest. Would stink if nothing ever came of it. Oh, I know, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? That'd be a letdown, huh? Well, and it certainly wouldn't leave West Virginia looking any better than they already started. Because, I think they got a bad reputation for maybe, corruption and maybe not being the smartest sometimes, which is, and you gotta say, Adult Protection Services didn't help that case at all. They looked like they were falling hook, line, and sinker for an obvious scam, basically, in my opinion. You been in the bushes? Well, thank you for coming out of the bushes. It's good to see you. Step into the light so we can see you. All right, let's see here. And we have seen some bad stuff. I personally have put out some bad things, not just in West Virginia. Remember where he pulled out that weapon, the Colt 45 on the journey? The judge did that. And then right there in Raleigh County, in the family court, that one lady that got or whatever, stepped down. Ring me up a couple minutes. Oh, you want to be brought up, Justin? Hold on a second. I got to catch up on comments. Joining late. Hey, Joyce. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. I got to try to catch up on comments. Wire fraud. So we're still in agreement that he very well faced federal charges and is providing more. Yeah, that's hilarious. I think they're both still facing federal charges. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't know. I absolutely love y'all. Everyone's so grateful. Thank you, TNT. We love you too. I think you're exactly right, Susan. Because we haven't seen any federal charges on Patrick. Well, Susan, come up and tell us what happened to Patrick and her if she tells us. I believe their community is deep. Yeah, for sure. Maybe Robert Mast for the earlier stuff on data. Yeah. It's so crazy though, how Eric just abandoned that channel. Like a ship that was sinking. He jumped in the dinghy and took off. The state claims Patrick kept 10,000 donations. Remember Suni Megan saying that she saw stacks of gift cards. Yes. So, Susan, do you think that Suni Megan talked to Gilkerson about that, what she saw? Allegedly. You know what, though? She was videotaping inside Patrick's house, if I remember right. Did she videotape those gift cards all over his table? You remember that? You remember? Yeah. Justin, will you tell us why you went out of town? Don't be a hypocrite. Kathy, please ring me up. A couple minutes, please. Let me get through the comments, Justin. I have zero faith in our justice system. Furthermore, evil seems to be rewarded in this fallen world. Eric will walk free. I'll be thrilled to be wrong. Yeah, I know. It is sad. It is easy to get discouraged. And it does seem like the wicked people seem to do like the best. Like a lot of people get away with stuff, but you think they're getting away, but you don't see what's happening behind their closed doors. You know what I mean? They're coming. I think so too. If we see Creepalachia roll off the perp walk with Eric, I may faint. Yeah, let's be completely transparent. Are you talking? Is that a quote from Eric? I recently sent something to Kathy that would sink your faith in the justice system deeper into the toilet. System needs major overhaul. Yeah, it has. I was looking at stories that went back 100 years about the corruption in West Virginia. No thanks, TNT. Justin's welcome to call me anytime. He has his number. The internet will never let Greasy Eric forget what he did. Yeah, you're right, Betty. But here's the thing, and I was going to make a little short video on it. I should be putting up some shorts, right? But this one would take like a minute. It'd be like a 1 minute video. It would be about, what do they say? Don't crap in your own backyard. Don't shit where you eat or whatever, but don't crap in your own backyard. Basically. Why in the hell would Patrick do this to his next door neighbor? That's what I can't get over. Because Eric goes back to Georgia, right? Now, how many people do you think in, well, he says he lives in Waverly Hall, Georgia, which I think is he said it's a small town. So how many people do you think Eric runs into in this small town that know who the Whittakers are? Most people don't follow the Whittaker stuff. There's like 8 billion people or whatever. I don't know. There's billions of people in the world. And in the United States and maybe in Georgia, there's not a lot of people. I've asked my family if they heard of them. No, nobody's heard of them. Nobody's heard of the Whittakers, right? Nobody in my family. Well, actually, I no, that's wrong. My son knows who the Whittakers are. And I don't think anybody else does. So not a lot of people in here, it seems like we all know, but in real life, Eric's town, probably nobody even knows what he did. Right, so he can just go running back to Georgia and live amongst his community. Nobody's the wiser, right? I don't think so. But Patrick crapped where he lived, right? And so he's in the holler. And I just found out what a holler was, by the way. I thought, because they're always talking about hollering down the road, I thought it was like they call it the holler because they holler at each other. But no, the holler is actually means hollow. It's actually, they're trying to say hollow because it's the hollow places between the mountains. So there's mountains all over and there's hollow places, and that's where people live, is in the hollow. But they call it the holler. Now I totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so Patrick lives in the holler, right? He lives down there with these people, and I just don't see why he did this to his next door neighbors when he knows Eric can just get in his vehicle and go home, and it's all on him. Now, if it was my neighbor, and say I'm, for some reason I've lost my mind and I'm listening to Eric, and but as soon as he says, hey, let's not pay your neighbors. Okay, if whether I liked my neighbors or not, I'd say, well, man, we can't do this. We can't do this because I got to live next door to these people. I mean, or if I didn't like them, I'd say, hey, you're going to run back to Georgia. I got to deal with these people. I can't be screwing them over. It's going to be me. I got to live next door to these people. You don't. Let's not screw them over, Or, hey, these are my neighbors, man. I like my neighbors. Don't be trying to rip my neighbors off. You know what I mean? But it was none of that. It was like, yeah, how much money? Let's take their money. And I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that he did this to his neighbors. That's why he keeps talking, him and Patrick. Well, they think they can talk their way out of stuff. They talked their way into it. They think they can talk their way out. I'm still praying that Mark comes riding on a white horse. Well, we heard what Mark said. And Mark said, no, it ain't going to happen. They said, you're not going to see him and nobody's going to see him. Not even the family's going to see them. Like, dang, they did a number on that family. Susan, me too. Would be great if he did, Susan. And then actually at the end of that interview, she said, oh, so do you think if you guys, the lady that was interviewing Mark said something like, so if you could ever videotape them again and get a reunion, you think, and he goes, no. And she said, really? Not even if he goes, no, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. The videotaping that family is done. So he's they told him, he tried. They said, nope, you're not seeing him. Nobody's seeing him. And now I heard that Betty has only seen the family once. That's what I heard today, I think. Betty's only seen the family once. I thought they were having regular visits. I don't know. I heard she had a few regular visits, and now I heard she only visited once. And there was a problem. Somebody's big mouth or something. Eric's probably been, hey, Kim, good to see you tonight. Eric's probably been quiet because all his lies are being exposed on a different video. Exactly. And sometimes it's like opposite. It's not even like you could explain, well, no, I said I was going. No, his are two completely different opposite stories. So he's tripping himself up. And that's the problem when he lies, and anybody lies. You can't remember what you said last time. Justin, you're going to give us truth. That would be wonderful, Susan. Yeah. Good to see Kim tonight. I don't understand why BJ keeps calling Mark for money. Because he's given her money in the past, and she, giving the old college try. Because she's an actor. Well, there you go. That's unfortunate. Well, and he's come through for many years, and she probably thinks if she just keeps calling enough, he'll cave in. It's worked before. Not my monkey says, think of this. If Eric has been pulling fraudulent business with dad talk all along and getting away with it, and then greed to him to big time Whittakers, and that's what brought in the attention. That's what I say. I think he's, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it appears as though allegedly Eric has had a long history of taking in money and not doing what he's supposed to do with it. And we're not talking little bits. We're talking 100,000, 175,000, another 200,000. And now what? Patrick says he's got 240,000 on this one. We're talking, that's four different cases. You got over $1 million in less than 5 years. And God knows what else. Yeah. And I think, a lot of people, what they do when they get away with something, they get sloppy the next time, sloppier the next time, and they get bolder and braver and do it in bigger chunks, you know what I mean? Get away a little bit, maybe got, I'm not saying him, but I'm saying somebody like him would get away with $5,000 and say, wow, nobody even thought nothing. Next time he gets away with $25,000. Next time he gets away with $100,000. I think they just get bolder and bolder until they get caught. And once you get caught for this one, it's like dominoes. All your past. Pretty soon they got all your records, and there's And you see it all the time. It's like, man, if they would have just quit on that last heist, you know what I mean? They're like the bank robbers. They rob banks and banks, and then they get caught on one, and then they connect them to all these previous bank robberies. You know, you never liked her, BJ. Yeah, mostly it's because of what people have said about her. Not really what we saw with their own eyes. My opinion is Larry and Betty should have said no to Patrick and Eric. That yeah, they should have. You're right, Stacey. They should have stuck with Mark. Mark was like a gold mine. He was an ATM machine, and he was going like every spring and during the summer, and big chunks of money. And anytime they had problems, they could, you know, I mean, now they got nothing. But I'll tell you one thing you got to give BJ credit for. Okay, in a way, and this might put things in perspective with BJ. When BJ got caught faking Larry's death, she ran into the camper when Mark showed up. And then eventually she came out and she said, yeah, okay, I did it. You know what I mean? She came out, went over, sat down, embarrassed as hell, and said, yeah, Mark, I did it. I lied. You know what I mean? And she admitted she did. Then she also admitted that not just that time, at a different time, that she has a substance abuse problem, a very serious addiction. And you know what? Most addicts don't admit that. So I got to give her credit. She did admit that she's an addict. And she did admit that she took the money and she did wrong. And she did admit that she lied about Larry dying and all this stuff. She came clean. And that's more than I can say about Eric and Patrick, because not once have you seen Eric or Patrick say, yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, maybe I'm addicted to something. Or, yeah, the Whittakers are suffering. Yeah, I did wrong. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And you'll never hear that out of them. You've never once heard Patrick or Eric admit to any wrongdoing at all. It's always me. I'm a victim. With both of them. Every Eric has done 2-hour live streams for an entire week straight, a few times. And out of 14, 15 hours during that week, it's just me. I'm a victim. I never wanted this. I tried. I don't want to do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. He's the victim. And then the only thing that and never once admits that he did anything wrong. And the same with Patrick. I'm a victim. Eric tricked me. I miss Timmy. I lost this and I lost that. I'm a victim. Never once have you heard him say, yeah, I screwed up with the Whittakers. I should be ashamed of myself. I wronged, not only did I wrong my next door neighbor, but just think about this. Now Patrick has to live there. There's nowhere he can go in any direction where there's not Whittakers and Whittaker family members. And he goes into town and goes into Beckley. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows what he did. And there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that are really disgusted and pissed off at him. So he's got it. Now he's living where he crapped. Anyway, I got to read through these comments. Justin probably fell asleep by now. It's unfortunate. Think of this. Yeah. Yeah. They should have, because Mark said, Betty, you got all these people in there filming you now. If you're going to do that, I'm going to step away. And she went with that. Wouldn't that be sweet? How do you do? Wouldn't that be a sweet how do you do? I live in West Virginia. They just indicted a guy for a crime he did in 1996 and got life sentence. Wow, Lisa. 2006, 16, 20. So he got an extra 30 years out free because they took so long. The guy probably got married, had a family, and everything by the time they caught up. Bring you up, please? All right. Monkey, you will can bet they'll look at all his dealings. Yep, for sure. All right, I got Kitty. Old college try, see. Old college try, same reason Susan's son calls her, right? Hey, if it's worked before, I can't blame somebody. If you call 10 times, you get money once, and yeah, I'd call another 10 times. Yeah, I remember that. Hold on a second, Justin. Yeah, but Kathy, according to the charges, he was doing it before Eric came. That's true, Patrick. Yeah, because according to the charges, he was charged with May. He was charged with crimes from May, and Eric didn't sign a contract till June 15th. So, all right, I missed a bunch of comments. Let me go. Let me go back. I came to this page here, Kathy. Justin has his own page. If he has something to share, my time is value at lowest. Cat. Thank you, Alicia. If his lawyer filed a motion for a speedy trial, you think? Time will tell and crap will smell. It's already sinking. But he waived the preliminary hearing. He did. And that means that because in the preliminary hearing, the prosecution presents the evidence and convinces the judge that this should go forward and all these charges. Well, if you waive that, you're saying, okay, you don't even have to do that. We already know there's enough evidence. Just let's get to the next step, please. And the next step was where they, like I said, I forgot the word for it, but it gets bumped up to the circuit court. And then it's been idle since March something. So it's true though, Grace. Blinded by the light? That's right. Now you have me wondering about the day Patrick got arrested. And Susan, do you know how his jeans got ripped? Yeah, did anybody ever find out how the back pockets out of his pants got ripped? I kind of pictured him trying to get away and the cop grabbing his back pocket and ripping it out. Somebody said he's getting ready to go to jail. He ripped out his back of his pants because he knows he's going to prison. Suni Megan only voice recorded because they warned her about Patrick being dangerous. Oh, really? So in case she ended up under the cinder blocks, they'd know what happened. That phone interview is still on my Facebook page. Which phone interview? Grace, I think that they were just ripped. Best I remember, the cop came and told him he needs to come and appear at court. And they charged him at court and perp walked him from court. So he was at home lounging around in his ripped pants, and they told him to come down right away. And he said, can do, and he hopped in the truck. And then they got into court, and he said, what will you guys need me for? And then they gave him some free bracelets. Patrick, and then they gave him even an ankle bracelet. He left with a bunch of bling. Patrick did it for money? Yes, Nazarene. Well, they both did it for money. That's a great point, Kathy. You should never shit where you eat. That's right. And yeah, because listen, Eric, he can go all over the place. Nobody knows Whittaker's. He's probably trying to pull some shit down where he lives. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know how Patrick didn't think that far ahead. Like, wait a minute, these are my neighbors. And if I rip them off and you go home, I got to deal with these people. You know? And sometimes, things can get ugly. Yep, a community within the hills. That's right. You didn't know that? No, hollow is holler in a lot of the. Yeah, I didn't know that. They holler back? Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought because they hollered at each other. A community within the hills. That's right. It's a flat area between the mountains. Yep. And they call it a hollow. That's a hollow spot between the mountains. Yep. Patrick is just a pushover. Yeah, if there's something in it for him, in my opinion. But Kathy, according to the charges, he was doing it before Eric came. Yeah. But those are state charges. State charges before Eric came. Yeah. Hey, Victoria, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Do you all remember when Patrick said Betty? Yeah, when Patrick said Betty could have his house, but it needs to be fixed up. He wanted his house to be fixed. Yeah. Well, they already started it. He was giving him $5,000. Here, Patrick. Here's Whittaker's $5,000, so you can get some sheetrock. Yeah. And then Betty looked at him like he was out of his mind. Do you remember that? He said, "You want to live here, Betty?" And she said, "No." At least they got floors were in her house. Yeah, I remember that. She could have my house. And as a matter of fact, he said, "You guys, I told Betty that she can have my house." And she looks at him like he's out of his mind. And he goes, "I've been homeless before. I can do it again." Like, wait a minute. If you gave him that, wouldn't she let you at least scratch on the couch or something? Yeah, I've been homeless before. I'll do it again. And she's looking like, am I hearing this right? My opinion, Patrick doesn't give a shit about any of his neighbors. No, but you should. Even if he didn't like the neighbors, hey, I'd be like, man, I gotta live next to these people. What if they do something to my house? You know what I mean? You know? I mean, you got a dog, you got a home. I don't know. I wouldn't want to piss off people in the holler or any neighborhood. I wouldn't want to piss people off around here or when I lived in a city or anywhere. I don't want to piss my neighbors off. Yeah, he's all mouth. That's right. I just went to Lick Hollow today. When I think the name in my head, it's Lick Holler. Oh, yeah. That's the name of it, huh? Agreed, Tina. I wonder if Mark came out with that interview because he knows or suspects that the feds are tracking and trailing. You know what, though? You mean tracking and trailing him? I don't think so. You know what's weird, though? Over and over and over, in Erica's trying to deflect what he did because he keeps bringing up Mark from Soft White Underbelly. Well, you guys remember all that money that they went through, and and then he even said when he had his friend Mark up there, he said when they were crapping all over Raleigh County and the justice and all that, he was saying, a second. Wait a minute, I just lost my place. I'm going to scroll back. But he was saying, hold on a second, I just lost my spot. All right, sorry about that. Well, anyway, I'm just reading your guys' comments. I got distracted. Yeah, I wonder if Mark came out with the interview. All right, that's what I was saying. Eric, when he had his friend Mark up there, and they were saying all that bad stuff about adult protection in West Virginia, he was saying that he's, well, they were mad because he wasn't dropped as a suspect, and they weren't giving him Timmy and all that stuff. but he even said, as far as he told the investigator, and I'm guessing that's probably Corporal Gilkison. Corporal Gilkison is the state trooper that's in charge of the state investigation, right? And he had apparently talked to Mark and Eric on more than one occasion, and because they had talked about this meeting, and it sounded like they had been there twice. But Mark was all mad because they didn't drop the charges, and Eric said, "I told the investigator, how come you're not investigating Mark from Soft White Underbelly? He made a lot more money than we did, and well, he didn't even say the money part. He said, what I don't get, I told the investigator, I don't get why you aren't investigating Mark, Soft White Underbelly. He did the same thing." And I thought, at first I thought it was about the money, but it's not about the money. It's about the exploitation. And so anyway, Eric's trying to throw Mark, Soft White Underbelly, under the bus. And it's funny because I just told somebody today, I saw Mark from Soft White Underbelly. He was in an interview, and I can't remember where it was. But recently he was in an interview within the last year. And he said people were asking him, he might have said this on his channel, but he said that, like, when people ask him, don't you feel like you're exploiting people? And he's not just talking about the Whittakers, because Mark interviews hundreds of people a year, you know what I mean? He's interviewed thousands of people. He's got, new people every night. I think he posts something. But he's constantly interviewing people, but he compensates them very well. And I think the Whittakers, I'm sure, got more than anybody. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, he made money off it, but whatever. That's beside the point. But he, like many content creators and interviewers, they don't pay the people, but Mark pays the people. He's providing a service, right? But somebody asked him, do you feel like you're exploiting these people when you interview them? And Mark said, no, I don't. No more than they're exploiting me. When I have to go eat at a restaurant, are they exploiting me because I'm hungry? When I have to stay in a hotel, are they exploiting me because I'm tired? You could say everybody's exploiting everybody. Anybody that's making a living is somehow exploiting somebody else. And so I thought, well, I never thought of it that way. I never really thought he was exploiting people, because he compensates them. I mean, overcompensates them. I mean, a lot of money. And so it's not like he's ripping anybody up. They're coming to him. They're lined up around the block. They're constantly emailing him that he's got more people than he could ever interview, standing in line, right? So anyway, my aunt lives on Bugger Hollow in Blairsville, a Bugger Hollow. Booger or Bugger? Oh, college try, that's right. And he don't have shit to show for it. Well, except for the pics with the superstars and the bad reputation, right? And that ain't gonna go too far. Especially if you're in. I mean, yeah, I think. Listen, if he doesn't have a bad reputation in Georgia by now, the Whittakers probably didn't make any difference either. And Mark never wanted to tip them off. He only wanted to help them make life better, easier for them. Eric's a narcissist. He wants his life made better, easier. That's right. Neither one of them did anything for the Whittakers. Nothing. Heck, she was busted, right? Most refused to admit that. Yeah. All right. But at least she admitted it. Because listen, if you, I picture, if you would have, if it would have been Eric, and Eric pretended that Larry died, Mark would have went down there, and Eric would have tried to spin his way out of it, bringing in Robert Dunlap and all kinds of shit to confuse you. But at least she admits it. Most addicts don't admit they're an addict. Patrick and Eric are busy blaming each other. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you're still here? Okay. I think one of the biggest issues, they didn't understand how the videos work. They probably thought if we're making this much in 3-4 videos, we could make a lot more and more of them. Yeah, hey, Rebel Guy, good to see you tonight. I think that they were shocked when they got their first check. Because actually, YouTube will tell you how much you're making. I need a pointer to keep track of where. I know. It's like when these comments, when I'm reading it, it's like a spring loaded, and all of a sudden it'll shoot down to the bottom. So I got to scroll back and figure out where I left off. Does it all on its own. Like Fox and the Kangaroo over here. Let's see. Yeah. Mark Leda can out money Eric. Yeah, for sure. You know, Mark actually had a lot of money probably before he even did these videos, because I remember, I don't know if I saw it in the interview, because I've seen a few of his interviews, but he had sold some product to either Microsoft or Apple or something. You know, he's got money, and he's not rich from the Whittakers. I'm sure he's done very well, but he's done well with a lot of stuff. And he pays, and some people don't agree he's getting honest response because they want to perform from. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mark's YouTube isn't monetized. The money he gave the family was from his own bank account donations. Well, okay, so the Whittakers, first of all, when he very first started filming the Whittakers, he opened a GoFundMe, like the very first video. And you could go look at the first video he did on the Whittakers, first or second one. He put up a GoFundMe for their household expenses or something like that. And if you click on it, it says it's no longer active, but it's still there. You can see. But he got them like 20, 30,000 or something. He got them money for their house or something like that. Then they closed that out so people wouldn't get too confused to keep transparent, and he did. Oh, very transparent. He shut that down. And when they wanted to get him a house, he started a new one just for the house, paid him off the old one, started up the new one. So they got that money for the house, that 130,000. Then, you know, they also had to GoFundMe when the trailer burned down, and they also got money for auctioning off the artwork and stuff. So, yeah. So he can generate money. He can do fundraisers. And the thing with Mark, though, he'll do the fundraising. He don't take none of it. He handed all the Whittakers money to them. That was their money. He didn't, because even legally, if you're a fundraiser, you can take part of it. You know what I mean? And in fact, like Red Cross or whatever it is, they took like 80% or so. I don't even know. An enormous amount. Obscene amount. Blaze spoke with Mark yesterday and cleared that up. Yeah. Actually, Susan actually spoke with Mark Leda yesterday by email. She sent me a copy of the email from Mark Leda from Soft White Underbelly. And Mark said, yes, I am monetized. It didn't start out that way, but yeah, he is monetized now. So I saw the email myself. He got right back to her. Wade, right, still here. Mark. Yeah, he's paid the Whittakers. You have a booger holler in our town in North Carolina. It's near railroad track. The story of a headless horseman. Oh, isn't that Knickerbocker? Knickerbocker, the headless horseman. Kids fear it and teenagers make out there. I've never seen anything spooky there. Maybe it depends on how many beers you have. He sold a bunch of books too. Yeah, that too. He makes money all kinds of ways. He's a very smart businessman. Yeah, it's probably Joyce is probably like a legend or whatever. They has those legends, and different areas have legends. So anyway, it's fun to tell campfire stories. He sold a bunch of books too. Blades Mark told me that initially he was not getting paid, like the first year or so, but he is now. Yeah, really, I swear he just talked about not being monetized. No, he could. Maybe he didn't. I don't know why. I didn't hear that. I just spoke to him yesterday. I sent Kathy. Yes, I do have a copy of that email. Mark said that he used his own money for 3 years, and it was over 850,000. Huh. I believe you. Mark had a GoFundMe accounts for many he interviewed. He shut them all down after being accused of not paying the Whittakers. Right, Joyce. Geez, how could he have been accused of that? Anybody who's followed him for years knows he did. Eric's sorry ass name shouldn't even be put in the same paragraph with Mark. It's like comparing Satan to Jesus. Yeah, pretty close. Wow, I am down at the bottom of the. I would have gone through all the. Now, okay. So I am all the way down. I don't know if Justin is still here. Justin, are you still here? I could put up a link. Ichabod Crane. Is that who it is? Yeah. What did I say? Knickerbocker. I think I was thinking of Orville Redenbacher. Orville Redenbacher version. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's funny. All right. Ichabod Crane, yeah. Justin, get your ass up. He's probably sleeping. All right, Jason, I'll put up a link. Let me see if I can. I always have trouble doing this. Hold on a second. All right. A second. Oops, hold on. All right. Hold on. Let me get back into the chat. Oh, shoot. Okay, so. All right, Justin, there's the link. There's the link, Justin. Now I'm going to try something different, you guys, with the sound. So let's Pork Chop, good to see you tonight. First video Mark did with the Whittakers was demonetized. It was mature content. He had to fight tooth and nail to get it monetized. I did hear something about that. All right, there's Justin. All right, are you there, Justin? All right, hold on, Justin. All right, how you doing?
I'm doing fair, Kathy. Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Can you hear me okay?
Can you guys hear Justin? Hold on a second. All right, hold on a second, Justin. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Justin, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How about now? Still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, how you doing?
I'm not doing too good tonight, Kathy. I got beat up pretty bad Wednesday night. It was a really bad experience. Um,
Gotta get louder, Justin. Somehow. Maybe closer to the phone.
I said I got beat up pretty bad. It was a real bad experience Wednesday night. Uh,
So
wasn't
what
good.
happened?
I was just sitting on my porch like I normally do.
Yeah.
Two, two guys come up, passed my house real slow, went down and turned around. They
On
parked.
foot? They're walking?
No, they went past my house real slow. They
Mm-hmm.
turned around in a neighbor's driveway.
Mm-hmm.
They parked their truck next door across my neighbor's driveway, got out of their truck and left both truck doors open.
And you're
Uh,
watching them?
yeah, and they walked along my fence line to my driveway and then cut up my driveway. And they got halfway across my yard, and I asked them what could I help them with. And one of them said, "You don't remember me?" I said, "No, I don't remember you. I don't even know who you are." And he conceded to walk on up to my front porch, and he said, "Well, you owe me $180." And I said, "I don't owe you nothing. I don't even know who you are. I don't owe nobody nothing." So he sat down in the chair at my table, and the other guy stood at the corner of my porch, and he's wearing sunglasses and a hat on backwards at 10 o'clock at night. The other guy had on sunglasses, and he said, "You sure you don't know me now?" And I said, "No." And then he jumped out of the chair, told his buddy to help him, and they grabbed me. Uh, They started hitting me. I flipped on my concrete porch 3 or 4 times and landed up on my end of my porch on top of my patio furniture. And my wife come out the door because she heard the commotion and asked them what the hell they was doing to her husband. So my wife got the gun, and my wife's the one that ran them off. And she called 911. We do have the video. Uh, the sheriff's department downloaded the video to their communication department, and they already called me on Friday and told me they already have identity on one of the victims, but I mean of the perpetrators, but they don't have the other one yet. So it was really just a bad situation. But the reason I wanted to come up is because you
Mhm.
were talking about you went in further with the West Virginia and seen where you could be charged federal
Mhm.
later on with a state crime, and I had been explaining to everybody all along the way uh, that this will happen. Not could only could happen, but it will happen. And Patrick, I'm not really sure if they'll continue to go down on them with federal crimes, but I'm sure that 99% of Eric's crimes will all be federal: racketeering, conspiracy. Uh, my last conversation was on Friday with an FBI agent out of Atlanta uh, that I mentioned to him about. He said it would only be a couple of more weeks. And he said, well, what I meant by that, we only like 2 other platforms receiving all their information. We do have everyone else's, and we have verified donations with everyone other than the 2 we have not received yet. And there's not going to be, this is just going to blow everybody's mind. This isn't entirely on the Whittakers. It's multiple things. Uh, it's not going to be devastating to us, but it is going to be devastating to Eric once it's all released, done, and said over with. That there are going to be as many or more than 100 charges against them, felony, federal charges, when this is all over with. And that's what I was trying to explain to everybody months ago, uh, that was possible reason that the state did not pursue charges yet, because it sounded like to me that the GBI and the FBI both had got involved in this. And their cases are much stronger than any state agency at all. And I'm looking forward to seeing every bit of it, and I hope I live long enough to see it all through, because it's definitely going to happen, Kathy, 1,000%.
Well, I wish you could tell us something inside information that would help us. You know, maybe
Well,
get our hopes up and believe you or whatever. But you know what I mean. So it's kind of hearsay right now. It's just kind of a guess. But I
well,
don't see.
it's not really a guess on my part.
No.
It's a guess on everyone else's part that it could or could not happen. But I assure you that I am talking to people that know what they're talking about. I wished I could give you a lot more information than I have,
Yeah,
but
because I
I
mean,
was,
yeah. I mean, you can't blame people for being or skeptical, right?
well,
But,
I understand that. Out
yeah.
of, every, out of everything I've said, Kathy, there's a clinch with the RV, and the only reason for that was the big ugly, and all that was a big game. And I just got caught up in the middle of it, and I
Mhm.
shouldn't have never done what I've done, period. And I
Right.
will admit that I was in the wrong for that. But
Well, that's good to admit.
what's this is coming down the pike, even just one little piece of it, then I'll be glad to come on and I'll give you every bit of it. I'll give you investigators' name with the FBI and with the GBI, and they do a lot more than a state agency. These guys are
Wow.
bad. They know what they're doing. They know everything that transpired here, and it just takes a lot longer for the FBI to build their cases than it does a state agency, for the fact that there is so much involved with this. So much. In every platform they have to go through, they have to verify who give this money, what the money was for, what the money was intended to be used for.
Well,
That
yeah, yeah. I don't think that they like go forward, pull the trigger, and go forward if they're not ready. And so I think it'll take months, if not longer, to get Eric's case together. And I can't see how Patrick wouldn't be charged federally. I think they did what they could with the state with Patrick. I don't think it's even an option to file state charges on
well,
Eric.
I think that Patrick's cases with the federal government is so minimum. I just don't think they will do anything to him because his GoFundMe account was shut off within a day or two after Eric arrived on the scene. The only thing that Patrick did a little bit of after that was collecting some gifts to them. And if I'm not mistaken, within 4 or 5 days, even the gift cards that Patrick was collected, that was even stopped on Patrick's part, but it continued with Eric's part. So uh, I'm pretty well
So,
up to speed to everything, and I'm not going to say something that's not. Uh,
but of course, people are going to wonder why would these people because I know like the grand jury and stuff like that, those are secret. Those are secret. Uh, they have these panels, these
yeah, but
jurors, whatever,
yeah,
and the jurors
but
sit there
but
like a year at a time, and they don't say anything to anybody. So
but
obviously, people are
but
going to wonder, like, why would they
but
be telling
but,
you this? I
but
mean,
you're talking about a grand jury now.
well,
You're
I'm
not
talking about
talking.
any high up agency. Why would
You're
the
not.
Georgia people be
Well,
talking to you?
the
Hmm?
the the FBI is
Yeah,
just like the state agencies. They don't necessarily have to have an indictment to arrest and charge anyone. The indictment can come later. It could come before. I worked close
yeah,
with law enforcement for over 40 years, and I do have connections. And they will not tell me every little thing, but I do have enough information that this is moving forward and it's not going to be pretty.
all right. Well, so obviously, we haven't really heard anything from anybody, even you, that we haven't seen come out in the press, right? So
Yeah,
we haven't really heard like any inside information from anybody. And so yeah, why would these agencies be telling anybody, including you, because you might go on somebody's live stream and tell everybody about it. You know what I mean? So
well,
that would be really risky for that.
I'm not telling anything that I haven't asked. Is it all right for me to say it? As long as I don't mention any names or the possible charges that's coming or what the charges are going to be. And as long as I don't say any of that, I have permission 100% to say what I am saying right now.
All right. Well, I think we, and I just think it's going to take a long time for this investigation. I wouldn't say a few weeks. I'd say months, if not longer, before, I just don't know. I'd be surprised if Eric was arrested even before the end of the year, honestly.
It's
Um,
going to, I can tell you, Kathy, it will happen before that. It
yeah,
will
well, I'd
happen
be
before the
surprised.
end of the year. You know, a lot of people speculating it could take 2 or 3 years, but as fast as this case is now moving, uh, I look for it to happen soon. I look for it to happen soon.
Yeah,
And
we all
uh,
do.
and
Yeah.
I just wanted to come on and say what I said, and when it does happen and the first thing comes out, I'll be glad to come back on, and then at that time I can give names when I heard it, and I've got a lot of videos, short videos, that's time stamped to prove that I knew every bit of this along the way, and I will email each one of them to you to prove
All
that
right.
I did know what I was talking about. Okay.
All right. All
All
right.
right.
Sounds good. I'll be
All right.
looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you. You have a good night.
All right. Get better. Hope you feel better.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
for coming up. Bye. Um. Oh, sorry, Justin. You need me to boot you? Hold on a second. There you go. All right, we got Justin off. All right, so that was entertaining like always. But I'm really sorry to hear that he got robbed. But you guys, that's what they do. They'll come up and they'll ask you if you got a cigarette or you got a lighter or do you know what street I'm on and all this. They'll get within arm's length and and they even say things like, "Don't you know me? Yeah, you know me." And anyway, till you get till they surround you. And anyway, so I do. I hope he recovers, and I hope those people have to pay for what they did. So that's terrible, but that's what they do. These people, the predators, they come up and they try to let your guard down until you're just sitting right next to you. But yeah, I hope he heals quickly too. What I started laughing about was I started laughing because hold on a second, I'm gonna tell you. Because I looked up and this is the comment that I saw. Justin Porkchop said Justin just got off the phone with Mulder and Scully. And then Mattis Hatter said, Kathy, write it down on the calendar. I will. Before the end of the year, Eric will be arrested. Now, I'd say it's like a 50-50 shot. I think it's 50-50 shot that Eric will be arrested before the end of the year. My opinion. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. What's this? August, September, October, November. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Anyway. So anyway, he's always Justin's always interesting. Anyway, but thank you, Justin, for coming on, and I wish him a speedy recovery. That's terrible, especially somebody elderly. You guys, it's not like a 20-year-old getting beat up. You know what I mean? Anyway, stop laughing. I believe me. I looked at the comments and I couldn't help it. Justin, I'm not convinced you know anything. I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah. And we can have those opinions. Well, that's why I said he's got to understand that we have to be skeptical because there's so many liars, right? And we really haven't seen anybody come out with. We can all make guesses what's going to happen, but if somebody says they got inside information, I haven't seen any yet. Like I said, we still didn't even know if Betty visited the family more than once. I mean, I don't know anything. And that's probably how it should be if they're in protective custody or whatever. The night of Eric's breakdown, Justin basically said it was going down and he would be picked up in a few days. Yeah, I think I do remember that. Don't hold your breath. You hear all kinds of stuff. We have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, that's right, Stacey. We've got no choice. No choice but to wait and see. And maybe one day when you wake up, it will be just like it with Patrick. I woke up to the news that Patrick is arrested. It was like surreal. It's crazy. It was Friday the 13th, I think. Oh, was I think it was Friday the 13th. No, it was the 16th. It was Friday the 16th of January. Yeah. Thanks, Justin, from Susan. I want a happy birthday, and it will be the Whittakers. Bad Abarsart. I'm not hip to that word. But yeah, that will be a happy birthday, huh? I'm nice, thank you, Tina. I try to be nice. Oh, the bad anniversary, yes. It will be a bad anniversary for them. Let's see. So yeah, anyway. We'll see. And if he's right about everything, he can see, I told you so. And but again, he just admitted he was wrong. And he shouldn't have done whatever he said he shouldn't have done. Let's see. Yeah, feel better, Justin. That's terrible. He said he had a cracked rib. And even on a young person, ribs take a long time to heal. So every time you breathe, it hurts. My dad, when he was younger, I remember when I was a kid, my dad, he was ice fishing, and up here in Minnesota, you take the snowmobile out on the lake, and you drill a hole and you fish through the hole. And my dad had a minnow bucket in front of him, and it was splashing onto the carburetor, in front of him. And anyway, he got on the snowmobile, and the thing went wide open, and he hit a tree and broke his ribs. And because the water splashed and it was wide open. But my dad broke a few ribs, and it was forever. I mean, it was months before he really felt better. And I've seen a lot of people since then breaking ribs, and like it hurt to breathe. Nothing really you can do about it. I mean, nothing the doctor can do about it. Kathy, do you think Eric had anything sneaky to do with the copper? Do you think he made money off the copper or no? Victoria, that's a good question. I do think the sneaky thing I think he had to do with it is we saw texts. I have the text messages where Eric and Patrick were talking about the copper behind BJ's camper. And they said, Eric said, well, you threw her chair away. She's mad about the chair. And then Patrick said it was junk or whatever. And he said, well, just get her a new chair. Make her happy for now, because soon she'll be gone, and that will be that. So they were plotting her demise. Her plotting to get rid of her. And that was, I'm going to tell you when it was. It was, let me think, July. I think July 1st was on a Friday. No, I'm sorry. It was August 1st. August 1st, I think, was on a Friday, and August 2nd, I think, was on a Saturday, but it was right around there. It was right when the Robert Mass trial ended. The Robert Mass trial ended the last day of July. And then the next day, Eric was texting Patrick about coming back and about getting rid of BJ. And now I don't know if somebody put the copper there. Looked like it had been in the grass for a while. I don't know. It kind of almost looked like somebody threw it there too. Because how the hell are they cutting the grass around it? You know what I mean? That didn't make any sense. Because listen, if I have a garden hose, I got to move it, right? You can't just run it over. Well, I have, but then I got to throw it away. And hoses are expensive. But I doubt that they were mowing over the top of that wire. They were like cables, you know what I mean? Wrapped all these strands. Dang, now you're humming Hawaii 5-0. I know. I like that. I loved Hawaii 5-0. Another show I used to stay up too late to watch. I hope Eric gets arrested on Christmas Day or New Year's Day. Yeah, that would be kind of ceremonious. It'd be a present for a lot of people. Got to have security cameras. I got them going all the way around my condo. Finally caught the deer eating my hostas. Yes, I've had security cameras since the early 90s. I wouldn't live without them. I used to have VHS. I used to have these little TVs with VHS tapes built into the front of them. And I had like 6 of them, and I had 6 little TVs going because I couldn't afford a splitter. And I had little VHS tapes in each one of them when I left. Yeah, I wouldn't go without security cameras. I love them. And my dogs sit there and watch the security cameras all night. I broke a rib before when I was a teenager at work. It took forever to heal, and using the bathroom. Yes. Anything, straining, coughing. Oh, forget about it. Laughing, coughing, breathing, anything. Yeah, straining anything that spans your rib cage. Ooh, that hurts. Justin, make sure you're doing your deep breathing exercises the medical staff told you about. You do not want pneumonia setting in. Yes, do your deep breathing exercises, Justin. Keep them lungs going. Maybe a lady cop with a police license plate will arrest Eric next week. Hey, Always Faith. Yes, I know a lady in this area. Actually, I went in her garage one time, and all her vehicles had police license plates on it. So I could probably team up with her, like Cagney and Lacey, right? Her and I will be the new Cagney and Lacey. And yeah, we'll borrow one of her cop cars. Now, they don't look like cop cars, but that's the beauty of it, right? We can sneak up on people. Anyway, yes, Tina, so you know how painful and how long it takes for a broken rib. Terrible. Good to see you tonight. Always. I don't know if I said hi. Jail turkey. Yes. I'm sure they have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner in jail. And, you know, in Christmas, they probably have a really nice dinner and they probably get presents. They probably sit around the Christmas tree in jail and exchange presents. That's what I'm picturing. And then the warden like brings in a big turkey and they just, you know, everybody has a knife and they slice off a piece. That's what I'm picturing. My sister dropped something by accident along with junk into the dumpster and tried to retrieve it. She fell in and broke a rib. I teased her it happened while dumpster diving. Took her a long time to heal. Yeah, absolutely. Can we get a FOIA on Justin, please? Are you talking about this police the robbery? He says he's got a video of it. He's got a security video of it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Today I was listening to somebody that was trying to arrange to get a body cam footage from somebody's arrest, I think. But they're saying the body cam footages are expensive. And I've heard that more than once, so I don't know what expensive means. I know when I do the FOIAs for you know, for whatever, it can be anywhere from 25 cents to, I don't know, $4 or $5 a page or whatever. So it can add up quick sometimes. And then you'll get a page where it's nothing but two words at the bottom or whatever that get ripped off. Yes, it's just like that, Kathy. And they give out calendars for the upcoming year. They do? He said that cops know one guy, but still trying to find the other guy. Yeah. Freedom of Information Act. Yep, I know what that is. Yeah. I should print an upcoming year. An upcoming year? Are you talking about 2027? Well, we haven't had a lot to add to the calendar this year. well, I mean, besides all the talking that they've been doing, that's been really interesting. Again, I'm surprised that Patrick and Eric have talked. But now they both are very noticeably quiet. Patrick hasn't been live for probably a month at least. I'm guessing at least a month. And Eric has not even said anything. And he really likes to talk. Well, yeah, he hasn't really. He put up a picture on Facebook. He said his daughter sent it to him. And it was Eric when he was really young and he had 3 little girls. And anyway, some sappy, sad message about how he wishes they were little again or something. So still kind of what do they call it? I don't know, melancholy or kind of how would you describe that? He's kind of like almost regrets or so. I don't even know. Going through something, you know. Um, yeah, I think Mad Hatter is attempting to be funny. Hatter? Oh, you're talking about jail. Oh, the Christmas at jail? Yes. And if you're there at New Year's, I'm guessing that if you're in jail over New Year's, they'll probably give you like champagne, maybe have some like really good hors d'oeuvres and stuff. And they let everybody stay up till midnight and pop champagne corks. That's what I'm picturing. Eric's such a girl, yeah, all right. The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you coming home, Eric? I don't know when. When I break the Whittakers up. Yes, when I break the Whittakers up. You correct yourself? Yeah, I saw that. I was putting it up there for whole. Yeah. Oh yeah. You figured I knew. Yeah, so it seems like, and I don't know why all of a sudden we all kind of we'll get together then. I love Cat Stevens. Wasn't that Cat Stevens? Anyway, I love Cat Stevens. Yeah, we'll have a good time then. And then at the end, it was I always got choked up. I turned out just like him. Yeah, I turned out just like him or whatever. Yeah. Eric is still reading the instructions on that T-shirt cannon. Yeah, a pork chop. That was funny. It was funny earlier what you said too. But remember, the T-shirts and the coffee cups were spelled. He had his name spelled wrong. That was so funny. All Eric's dad talk coffee cups that he was selling and the T-shirts spelled his last name wrong. Yeah, you say it's your birthday. That's right. There's a few. Oh, Harry Chapman. Oh, that's okay. Why did I think that was Cat Stevens? It sounded like Cat Stevens to me. Only for 10 more minutes. Your birthday? Well, you should just make it the whole birthday week, and it's conveniently on a Sunday, so you could run your birthday all the way till Saturday. That's what I'd do, personally. Mine goes for a week. I buy myself stuff. I bring myself out to dinner. Spend money on myself. Yeah. Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And many more. Yeah, that is funny sheet. So, well, that was interesting having Justin up. It's always kind of interesting. But, yes, it's anybody's guess. Anyway. So, well, maybe I'll wrap it up. What are we at? 2 hours and 15 minutes? Yeah, I should probably wrap it up. Yeah. I wish I had a piece of birthday cake. That sounds really good. Like the store-bought kind. Yeah, it was spelled wrong. It was said Eric Carroll, and Carroll was Carrol with one L. The T-shirts and the mugs. That's hilarious. And well, anybody would have called and either wanted a discount or you want it for free or whatever, or you'd send them back. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, you just spelled my name wrong on everything. So he probably either got them for free or he got. But it's funny he was selling them and not saying anything. I don't know if he ever pointed that out. I didn't watch him. Well, your son's birthday is tomorrow, so you had to spend money. Yeah, there you go. Yep, son's birthday is tomorrow, so that kind of goes from one birthday to the next. Eric probably got them free because his name was. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I personally would have at least wanted a discount, and maybe put them in a free pile. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't know what you would do with them. Use them out in the garage to put nuts and bolts in. I don't know. Justin, are you still here? Susan is calling for Justin. Justin, are you still here? Me too. He turned out just like me. My boy was just like, thank you, Joyce. I didn't say it right. He turned out just like me. My boy was just like me. Thank you, Joyce. That part always kind of choked me up. My birthday is every day. There you go, Betty. I like that. I'm going to start doing my birthday every day. And do you know something a lot of people don't know? So if you sell merchandise, you mail, I don't know how it goes. I think they buy it directly from a store, Susan. And then you get a portion of the sale. I don't even think you put your hands on nothing. I think they just put it out. I think there's a store that does it. They make it, they sell it, and you just get a portion of it. But okay, so say today. Oh, Justin is still here, Susan. All right, now this is something that a lot of people don't realize, but I'll tell you. So say today you turned 50 years old, right? Today's your 50th birthday. Do you know that you're actually finishing your 50th year, and tomorrow you're going to start on your 51st year, right? So people think, yeah, I had my birthday yesterday, I'm 50, and all year they say, I'm 50. No, you've completed 50 years, and you're now in your 51st year, okay? People don't realize that. And so when a baby is born on their first birthday, they have a first birthday party. I'm 1 year old. No, they are completing their first year and they're starting their second year. So from your first birthday on, you've entered into your second year. So when you have your second birthday, you're actually completed your second birthday. So when you have your 50th birthday, you've completed 50 years. So you're actually in your 51st year. So I don't know. It's just a number. Justin says, yes, he is still here. Victoria says, Eric's not going to pay for anything. He probably had it misspelled on purpose to get him free. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's probably, it could be very possible. I wouldn't have thought of that, but maybe he would have. Justin is waving his hand. He's still here. Then complained and got a discount or got him free. Yeah, right. He's always thinking ahead. Right? Paying for stuff is for suckers. I think that I saw that on one of his t-shirts. It was covered with red dye, and I can't eat red until Tuesday. If you know, you know. I don't know. Well, okay, I reached, and I had nothing. I don't know. Kind of went over my head. Monkey sounds delicious. I have no sweets in my house because I'm cutting back and going crazy. That's good though. If you go cold turkey on sugar for 7 days, it'll stop the cravings, and your cravings will change to like, as long as you're not a vegetarian, you'll crave like steaks and meat and vegetables. And like I craved steak. I craved when I went on a sugar fast, I craved steak a lot. steak and mushrooms. I craved like pickles and olives and salads and stuff. It's just weird because your cravings change if you fast from sugar. I wasn't joking, Justin. You can call me sometime tomorrow if you want to talk. 52, thank you. So if you had a 52nd birthday today, you just ended your 52nd year. Tomorrow you're going to start your 53rd year. I will. Justin said he will. Okay, yep, because you lived an entire year. Yes, just like the 21st century. That's right. Yep, just like the 21st century. Yep, because you lived an entire year before your first birthday. Yep. Excuse me. Justin, I do hope you heal up quickly. 8/16/74. I remember 1974. I can't remember. I think Richard Nixon might have been president. Maybe right before I got president. I'm not sure. Yeah, I hope those people pay for it because that's terrible. If you know, they probably been doing it to a bunch of people, especially when they pick out a senior citizen, somebody vulnerable that they want to beat down and rob. You wonder. Yeah, like they say, 21st century. That's right. 10:49 a.m. Huh. I hope they find both those guys, Justin. Sorry that happened to you from Victoria. I just wondered why Eric had all that merchandise. Well, he thought he was a rock star. I don't know. Well, and to be fair, it was another way to make money off of his channel, which there's nothing wrong with that. But he said, quote, I didn't even care about it. Didn't make me enough money to bother with it or something like that. Well, yeah, if you're making a couple $100,000 off of each, twice a year off these projects, no, a few bucks off a coffee mug, no, you ain't gonna worry about that. But I remember I just rolled my eyes when he said that. That's not worth worrying. I never even cared about it. It wasn't worth my time or something like that. Yeah, I bet. You had much bigger fish to fry than a t-shirt and a coffee cup. Maybe for dad. Yeah, it was for dad talk. Yeah, it was. It was a dad talk merchandise. That's why when he's basically shut down dad talk, he wanted to get rid of the merchandise. It wasn't really clear. He said he was going to give it away to his strong supporters, but I saw people making comments to me saying I was a strong Eric supporter trying to get a mug or something, and he won't answer. So I don't know if he gave anything away. Yeah, yeah. No, I for you. Yeah. So anyway, for anybody else, hey, if I made $1 off of each T-shirt or each mug, that'd be, to me, that's money. But to Eric, he's not going to step over $100,000 to pick up $1. You know what I mean? Eric is doing puzzles and Easter eggs. Yeah, you're right, Justin. So Eric said his new channel is going to be puzzles and Easter eggs. I'm like, okay, that clears it up. I crave chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes. Oh, that would be really good. I love mashed potatoes and gravy with some kind of meat. You hope so? Me too, Tina. No, Kathy, you're making me older. I know. Unfortunately, that's how the math works in this birthday stuff. Right, Justin? I'm still looking for the breadcrumbs Eric said he put out. Yeah, what about these? The breadcrumbs about Patrick? Eric's new channel is Dad's Perp Walk. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Dad's walk, dad talk, dad walk, dad perp walk. Yeah. Oh, yes. He said he was leaving us breadcrumbs. What jokes. Yeah. You know what? To be honest, I don't think he remembers anything that he ever said. I think he's just trying to stick with the story, and he just tries to stick with the story. I don't think he remembers what he said last week or last year. What city did that happen in, Justin? He's in Florida somewhere. Uh, Eric probably has anxiety not knowing what's going to happen to him. Yeah, I would be too. That would be a terrible situation to be in. Because it's not like they're going to charge you for, a petty misdemeanor. You're going to pay $75 or something. No, if they show up on his door, he's probably going to prison for years. And he's not bougie, but he's bougie. Yeah, he is losing it. And it's so weird that he's quiet right now. I don't know what he's doing. It's like when the natives stop beating the drums. It's like, what's he doing now? I think he's probably getting a fundraiser together for something. And you know what I thought of it too? If he gets charged and needs money for legal defense, which he would, he ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. It's like a kid. He spends the allowance the day he gets it. You know what I mean? But I don't think, because when Patrick did that GoFundMe, and I didn't know that was Susan. I didn't know who Susan was. I didn't try to stop it. I think I may have poked fun at it, but anyway, I think that we found out that you're not allowed to do a GoFundMe for certain criminal cases. Anyway, so I don't think Eric could even do a fundraiser for his legal defense. I don't even know if you can do that. Not sure. But I would have a lot of anxiety because what's it going to do? Get a public defender? A public pretender who pretends to be on your side. Yeah, get one of those. And you know what? That's more than the Whittakers had. Yeah, he's losing it. Nazreen, Eric should never sleep well again. And the problem is he does sleep well, Susan. He doesn't think anything wrong. And as a matter of fact, he even recently said, I'm proud of what I did to the Whittakers. Or whatever. He's proud of it. He's doubling down. He's not even sorry for what he did. He's doubled down. He's proud of it. More like dead talking. That's a good one. Puzzles and Easter egg. Yeah, that's what he said. That's his new challenge going to be. People waited like 4 hours to him to get to the point. And finally he says, okay, you guys, I'm going to tell you my new challenge is going to be up. It's going to be Easter eggs and puzzle pieces or something like that. Puzzles and Easter eggs. Easter puzzles. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was just like, wait, what? We just waited 4 hours to hear you. Anyway, I think it's going to be like kickboxers or something and rock and roll. I think he said that kickboxers or no UFC fighters, retired ones. I'm not sure, but like boxing fighters and rock and roll. Do the breadcrumbs lead to those meat and potatoes? You guys are making me hungry. If I miss anybody's hello, please forgive me. I'm listening, but not reading chat. I hear you, Italian girl. I do it all the time. He needs to make a t-shirt that says, I screwed the whole family and Patrick. Yeah, that'd be a good one. He could sell it on his channel. The hell, I'd buy one. That's a t-shirt I would buy with his picture on it. I screwed the whole family, Whittaker family, and Patrick. That'd be pretty good. I'd pay for that. Hell yeah. And when it came in the mail, I'd show it to you guys. Actually, I think I'd prefer a coffee cup, though. I have a feeling his t-shirts are going to be not good. Cheap. Yeah. Let's see. he should write all this stuff down in a calendar. Yeah. You're hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry too. Then at least he could keep up with his story. Yeah, he should write it down. He should write it down if he's going to try to stick to this same narrative. And maybe the police are watching. You should probably make sure you say the same story each time, because it's easy to trip him up. I know I checked his channel, Facebook group, and everyone connected to him every day. Yeah, it's quiet, isn't it? I think, Kathy, that rules only apply when necessary. Yeah. Well, when it's convenient for them. Yes, he did, and his wife confirmed that he sleeps very well. Yeah. I think he even said that. Yeah, no conscience. Nope. Seared conscience. That's what the Bible calls it. A seared conscience. Nothing in, nothing out. It's just there like a slab of meat. Dads and dukes. That's it, Tina. No conscience. Soulless. Yeah, no soul. And if you look into his eyes, it's like, yikes. There's no iris. It's just black. Yippers. Night, everyone. Love. Yep. Night to you too, Justin. I think I'm going to say goodnight too. 2.5 hours. I don't want to make the replays too long for people. I have been cutting out, they automatically put in a whole lot of commercials, like every 5 to 7 minutes. I've been cutting out over half the commercials out of my replays now, so just to cut down on it. So maybe every 15 minutes or something, but not every 5 or 7 minutes. One of them had every 4 minutes or something. I don't know how they do it, but I have to turn that off and manually do it. So anyway, I'm trying to cut down on the commercials. Even though I have it already at minimum, the pre-roll or the mid-rolls are out of control. So I was just looking at Eric's last post to his daughters. It's kind of like a swan song. He already did a last message to Sarah's daughter. Weird. Wow. Always Faith. That is weird. That is weird, Always Faith. Now that you mention it, meeting the youngest daughter down the road. I'll meet up with you down the road. That was a farewell to the youngest daughter. Yep. And then the post to his present older daughters that he lives with or whatever. What I think kind of saved Eric in West Virginia, his friends, was backing up his lie. Exactly. That's how he's able to fool everybody. Like if he was sitting there by himself and nobody would believe him, but he had Patrick there. Patrick's a neighbor, so that gave him a lot of credibility. And then his friends came, and that gave him more credibility. I have not had one commercial tonight. Oh, really? Well, that's good. That's good. Vanita, night to you. Yes, Black Shark Eyes. I pay for premium so I don't get ads. Yeah, I should probably do that. Anyway, so hopefully they're not. Somebody complained that there's too many commercials, so I thought, well, cut them down, I guess. But they just put there's no rhyme or reason. No rhyme or reason how they put the commercials in. You know what I mean? They can be every 4 minutes and then 7 minutes and then there'll be a 10-minute break. Anyway, so I just been doing it manually. Hopefully it won't be too many for people. I've had lots of commercials, not coming. Oh, tonight? That is weird. Oh, you have premium. Okay, no wonder you didn't get commercials. Okay, well that kind of explains that. You had me perplexed there for a minute. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up and say goodnight too. Happy Sunday night. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate it. If you're listening, if you're this far, you're the MVP. Sticking around this far, 2.5 hours. If you're listening on the replay, thank you. And if you stuck around on the replay this far, the MVP. And yeah, and thank you, Justin, for coming up tonight. We wish him well, and we wish him a speedy recovery, and that justice is done for the lousy thugs that attacked him and anywhere else. So yes, so maybe I'll be back tomorrow. If I have something put together, I will be. Anyway, yes, so thanks for coming in. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, all the moderators. Thank you, everybody, for all you do. And anyway, good live stream. Yes, and happy birthday to TNT and Son. Good night, everybody.